Hello there and welcome back. My name is Fumilayo from Beth Media and welcome to our Python project for beginners. In this Python project, we will be creating the HangMan game completely in Python. So we would be able to select letters and we'll be able to get like a visual animation, but not exactly like this, but I'll show you in a second. So what the library we'll be working with is random. So first we have to import random. And then we need the list of words that we would like to choose from. So you can set as many words as you like, or you can also do like import a CSV file with the words that you would like to use for your HangMan game and then select from it. So this is my word list, Python, HangMan programming, etc. So then what I would like to then do is to chosen word is equals to random. So I want to be able to choose at random my word list. So word list. Yeah, so this would choose at random any of the words in this list for our HangMan game. So now I want to initialize my variables. So I want to set like a maximum number of attempts so the game doesn't go on forever. So these are the variables. My guesses will be in a list, and this is the maximum number of attempts. And then it will start counting the attempts as people start inputting their attempts. Another thing that I would like to do is to show visuals. So then I have to like show the drawing of the stages of the hangman. And so I've added the stages of the hangman game. So this is the first stage when you get a letter wrong. Second stage you get the head, the throat, the ends, and then the legs, and that's the end of the game. So now we have to make our loop. We'll be using a while loop. So while true, what do we want it to do? We want it to print the hangman stages while it's true. And then we want to show our display word. I make this an empty string. We would use it later. So for letter in chosen word, remember that our chosen word is what we have here that we're choosing at random. So for letter in chosen word, then if letter in guesses, then we want to display word plus letter. Else display word yes, so if our letter is in the guesses, then we'll display word. We add the letter, otherwise we put like a dash. And then we would print our display word. Now we want to be able to ask for guesses. We want to be able to allow the user to be able to input their guesses. So we'll do that by using our input. So guess equals to input, get a letter, and then want to convert it into a lowercase. After they've input their letter, the next thing is to check if their letter is correct, that if their guess is valid, is what we have. So there are two things that you might consider that if the letter that they enter, if it is more than one, if it's not equal to one, or if it is not like a letter, if they enter like a number, we want to send a message that please enter a single letter. Just trying to make sure that our guesses are valid. And then we also want to check if there's like a repetition. If a person enters a letter more than once, we should also be able to like raise a message that, oh, you've entered the previous letter before. So now I want to check if it's the repeat. So if guess is in guesses, that's the guess is the input. If it's in guesses, yeah, this is the list that we're creating for the entry. Then you should write that you've already guessed that letter. And now we want to append our guests into the list that we created at the beginning. So as they're entering their letters, we want to append it into this list. So then we want to check if our guests, when we have all the letters, if they are in the word. So we also have to add a condition that if it's correct or if it is a wrong guess. So if guess in chosen word, and then we'll print correct. But if it's not, then we'll print the wrong guess. I know after anytime we do this, we set like a limit for attempt. The maximum attempt is 6. So we'll initialize anytime there's an attempt, and when it gets to 6, we want to stop the game. So we use that again. We're using lots of if statements. So now we check that if this is not in displayed word, we want to print that congratulations. That's if the attempt is done. And then if our attempt is greater than the maximum attempt, then we want to print that, oh, you've run out of attempts. So you see the display word is the word that the empty string that we made here. So anytime there's a letter, it's appended added to the string. And when we don't have this anymore in our string, then we put like a congratulation. You have won the game. You guessed the word. So now let's run this. So now guess the letter. Remember that it's choosing at random from what we have above. So if I enter, for example, let's say F, is it correct? We get correct. We put correct here, that if our guess is in the chosen word that we got at random here. So if our guess is in the chosen word, it should print correct, which is what it did here. It's a guess a letter, and we guessed the letter, and then we got correct. And you see the next, we have the dash is being replaced by F. So now let's get another letter. See S. You see wrong guess, which is what we said here, that if it's a wrong guess, and then now our attempt is now 1. When we get to 6, the game will stop. Next we have to guess another letter. Let's guess U, for example. See, we guessed it correct, so that is correct. And let's guess another letter. So this is wrong. This is a wrong guess. I. Yeah, this is correct. E. It's a wrong guess. It's building the HangMan. And now you see I've already entered U. If I do that again, you see you already guessed that letter, which is what we put here, that if guess is in guesses, print you've already guessed that letter. Our guess is what we're entering, and then our guesses is the list that we made here. So it checks if our entry is in this list, and then it prints out that you've already guessed this letter. Let's keep guessing. That is correct. This is my name. Let's keep. And that is correct. And let me do this first one where we guessed everything correctly. And then we can test for when we do the wrong one. If you see, we had to make a wrong guess even after we've gotten all our guesses correctly before we got the congratulations message. I do not want this to be so. I want it that immediately we've gotten the correct answer, I would like it to display the congratulations message. So what I can do is move this. So before you ask for a guess, I want it to be able to check if there is not this. So before it asks for a guess, I want it to check if this is not in the display word before it then asks for a guess. And then if it's not in the display word, then this will be, and then it continues. So this is the way I want to solve this. So our while loop still stays the same, but before asking for any input. So every time the while loop runs, before it asks for the input, it first checks. Maybe there's a gap in the display word, and then it prints congratulations. So let's try again. So let's guess our word. We have R, and then P. We have G, and this is programming. And see now the final letter, we should get the congratulation message immediately I hit enter. Yes. So before asking us to guess a letter. And if we run it again, so now I'm just going to be entering the wrong letter so we can see the message that will see our HangMan is building. Yes, so you see we have run out of attempts. So this is the ways to build your HangMan game. As you can see, you can update it, you can set it to the way you want it to be displayed, what you want to appear first, your conditions, and then you have your HangMan game.